yeah, deep work ritual completed, just feeling satisfied and fulfilled from the lack of distraction and the increase in just overall productivity. Like, you know, when you have that one task or that one goal that's been sitting in your inbox or your to-do list for days, weeks, maybe even months if you're a procrastinator like me, and you're sitting there and you're looking at that thing and, you know, you just can't get yourself to do it. But man, as soon as you have that uninterrupted, dedicated block to just focus on that one thing, it becomes easy. It becomes relatively effortless because you're not trying to do like 7 different things. You're just doing the one thing. And for me, that has been recently working on the course, making videos, and of course, working on this launch for this product called Haptic, which is coming out pretty soon, and I'm really excited about that. So I had to develop the whole campaign brief and the channel briefs and the campaign strategy, and most importantly, the affiliate brief, so that I can just give that to our affiliates and they can launch the product with ease. So I'm really just looking forward to seeing that project through. It's been over a year in the making now, and I'm just eager to see it completed. It's always frustrating to have unfinished work. One of the best feelings ever is finishing what you started. And this is something that I need to hit on more, because what would it feel like to just finish everything you started? Where would your life be if you just finished what you started? Think about that. Think about that one angle alone. How would your friends treat you? How would your boss teach you? What kind of opportunities would you be working on right now? Right? And where would you be in like 3 years? Or where would you have been 2 years ago if you had just finished what you started? I think about that all the time, because it's like it's like most of the things we start, we don't finish. Most of the ideas we have, we don't integrate, we don't actualize them. Most of the tasks we create, or the objectives and goals we set, we don't achieve. What would it feel like to actually finish what you start this year? Imagine that. You have to imagine. You have to use your brain a little bit to wrap your mind around the possibilities of what your life could be like with that level of execution and that level of discipline. And it would be a lot easier if you had a tool that used neuroscience to wire your brain for that kind of activity and make it objectively, abundantly, painfully clear what it is that you need to do, but not just what you need to do, but when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen and for how long and what the workflow and the ritual is around that, because deep work is the secret. You have to ritualize focus. You have to make focus a lifestyle, and focus isn't just like something you have to do to be disciplined, to have success, and it's all these have-to-dos. It's something you get to do. You get to be free from distraction. You get to be free from the chronic fatigue and overwhelm and cognitive overload that just comes from constantly swiping through email and texts and social media feeds and your Slack inbox, and just having to deal with all this like noise about all the things that are going on and all the things you're supposed to keep up on, but not actually getting into that deep, quiet spot of just progressing the little small things. Because the most important thing in life, the most critical, biggest thing, is the least likely to happen. And I'm literally spitting everywhere, and you can see it. It's great. That means I'm hyped, bro. When I start spitting, it means I'm spitting bars. But seriously, that's like it's so hard to even like imagine a life like that. I don't think most of us can conceptualize that, because it's been our experience for so long. The chronic fatigue and stress has just become the natural homeostasis that your body is adapted to. And so it's no longer this like, man, I got to do something about this. This isn't normal. It's something you've been doing for the last 10 years or ever since you were like a kid. So it doesn't even register on your radar. You hear it, you see it in your screen time reports. People tell you, oh, you should be more disciplined, but it doesn't register in terms of how your brain's developing or how your future is being shaped. And that's the stuff that like is hard to conceptualize, but you have to review consequences. If you want to change yourself or change your life, you have to review and become painfully aware of the consequences of your inaction, the consequences of the distractions, the consequences of leaving it unfinished. Where that will put you in life is not a place you want to be. You want to be a high performer, whether you know it or not. If you want success, if you want great relationships, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be wise, you want to be a high performer. I know there's a lot of different definitions of like high performers, and people think, oh, they're just hustle, grind culture, and overly ambitious, driven by perfectionism and combative energy. No, dude, I'm talking about people who have mastered success over the long term while maintaining and not destroying their health and their relationships in life. So that would kind of debunk a lot of the qualms with high performance literature, and even just the language of it itself can kind of turn a lot of people off. But it's really just about like living a good life. It's really about doing great work and actually controlling your life, and not just letting your life be controlled by the agendas of others and the whims of your impulse and the whims of the world, because the noise is just, it's everywhere, and there's so many things, there's so many not targets that are so easy to hit. There are so many traps and distractions and activities and goals that you can pursue that aren't the real thing. And that's why you have to visualize and map out what it is that you're focusing on and what it is that you want and where you're going and how exactly you're going to get there, and what actually matters to do that. And then what actually isn't a target. You have to outline what's not a target. If you don't clearly say, I do not want to be like this anymore, you won't be able to change. You have to clearly understand who it is you no longer wish to be. And when you get to that like mental capture, it becomes clearer what you want to do. But even when you have that clarity, how do you turn it into action? And that's what haptic is for. That's why we built haptic, is because we wanted to use this neuroscience of attention and the neuroscience of sensory cues and the brain's response to environmental cues and how the brain rewires itself in response to those cues and the following behaviors that come with it. And so when you start to get that blue light and you start to enter deep work mode and your distractions are off and you get this deep, hour-long, 2-hour, 4-hour-long flow state of just generative work, you feel fulfilled. You feel good. That green light becomes a signal in your brain that I'm about to feel good. I'm about to focus. I'm about to get something done. I'm about to achieve my dreams. I'm going to pursue this goal. I'm going to move closer. And dopamine to high achievers is not something of consumption. It's tied to pursuit itself. The pursuit and the process itself is rewarding. And this light system is literally rewarding that. It is giving your brain that little cue, and it's telling it in advance, hey, you're about to get this fulfillment. You're about to get this focus. And the brain is its own drug. Like, the brain will condition itself for what it does on a repeated basis and what it sees on a repeated basis. And it aligns those cues. And dopamine is dumb. This is common saying from Andrew Huberman said that. And I love that because it's true. Dopamine is dumb. It just pairs to what it pairs to. but you can be smart into how you use it. And when you leverage that, when you're smart about how you leverage that, you can seriously shift the trajectory of your habits and shift the trajectory of your life. So that was like a completely random rant, but I just want to get that off my chest, man, because like I'm so tired of having like days of just distraction pile up, of just the overwhelm and the frustration and the fatigue and looking at the task list and being like, didn't I write this down last week? Like, why is it all the same? Like, why did nothing get done? I hate that feeling. I hate the feeling of going to bed at the end of the night, putting my head on the pillow and being like, and still thinking about that task that I was supposed to get done this morning. And thinking about that project and that vision and those people that I'm letting down. And like, you're just forfeiting progress. And we don't realize that we want progress because in the short term, the impulse and the shiny object and the noise gets in between us and the signal of our vision. And if the signal for the vision is not stronger than the signal for the noise will always win, which is why haptic uses distraction blocking, because it literally just turns off a lot of those options and a lot of those non-targets that you should be avoiding, but don't always, maneuver properly to get out of their way. So, yeah, random thoughts. Now we're gonna go eat some food. I'm so freaking hungry. I'm literally ravenous. It's gonna be great. All right. Hope this served you. I'm out. Peace.